Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hattrick's Unofficial Flyers podcast. I'm Rick Mullen. I'll be your host tonight. We are going to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 5, Flyers versus Penguins. Um, Bad game. What the heck? The Flyers cannot close the door on these Penguins. They just won't go away. Flyers lose last night 3-2 up in Pittsburgh. They are coming home for game 6 tomorrow after being up 3 games to none. We are going to have a game 6. Didn't think we would get to a game 6, but here we are. Let's talk a little bit about this game. This game drove me nuts last night. So we're going to go over stats. Then we're going to talk about some players on the team, some Penguins shenanigans, and all this good stuff. So stats for the night. Flyers had 20 shots to Pittsburgh's 21. The Flyers had 42 hits to Pittsburgh's 37. Lo and behold, the Pittsburgh Penguins are hitting now. They're hitting a lot. They didn't hit half as much as this in the first couple games, and now they're hitting a lot every game. And I think that is hampering the Flyers. I think the Flyers hear the skates coming. A lot of them are getting nervous and they're not going into the corners when they should be, or they're getting rid of the puck a little too soon. They're not being creative. That's what Rick Tocchet says, and I think we got a lot to talk about. And these hits, I wish the Flyers were dominating in the hits, but it was a close hit game last night. Penalty minutes, the Flyers got 10. Oh my God, guess what? The Penguins didn't get more penalties than us. Oh my God, who would have figured that? Who would have figured that? The refs. That's who. The refs. Because they don't call the Penguins for anything. Penguins had 8 penalty minutes. They should have had like 40. It's crazy how one-sided and blind the refs are. It's crazy. I was listening to the game, watching the game. Boucher was going nuts. He couldn't believe what the refs were not calling, and neither can I. It's an absolute disgrace. I just don't understand how this is happening. I don't understand how there's not any accountability. I just don't understand at all how they get away with it all the time. They're paid off. They got pictures of Gary Bettman doing things he shouldn't. Something's happening here, but no one calls anything on the Penguins ever. A couple minor penalties just to make sure that everyone knows they called a penalty here and there, but the Penguins get away with murder, and they got away with murder again last night. The faceoff dot, the Flyers had a 53.3% winning percentage to the Penguins' 46.7%. Going into the first period, right away, at the 2-minute and 45-second mark, Elmer Soderblom, he scores from Anthony Mantha and Parker Weatherspoon. He gets the goal, and Penguins are up 1-0. What can I say here, guys? The Flyers are chasing all the time. They chase. I wish they didn't have to, but they do. They always start off flat. First period ends. Flyers did have a better first period than they had in game 4, but they still weren't great. They couldn't finish. They had some chances, but they just couldn't finish. Going into the second period, Connor Dewar, he scores at the 3:17 mark from Sidney Crosby and Blake Lizotte, and the Penguins are up 2-0. 2-0. And lo and behold, 12 seconds later, Alex Bump, he skates up this side. He does a little pass underneath the stick, the triangle. Everyone calls it a little bit something different, but under the triangle, under the stick, he goes around this defenseman with the puck, but not the body, and then passes the puck through the triangle back to his stick, and he fires a shot, and he ends up beating Silvos. And Alex Bump, his first playoff goal ever, his first playoff game ever, he scores. And that's from Risto and Noah Cates. So that puts us 2-1 at the 3:29 mark. At the 15:05 or 15:06 mark, Travis Sanheim scores from Risto and TK Flyers and Penguins are now tied 2-2 in the second period. About 2 minutes later, not even a minute later, Chris Letang takes this shot, and it's such a shame because Vladar deserves better. He takes this shot, hits the boards, bounces back out, and Vladar doesn't see it. Like, it comes through his legs from behind the net. He knows it's somewhere. He's getting nervous, and he pushes his legs down, and he hits the puck into the net, and they get a fluky goal. The Penguins always get these bounces, and that's just hockey, and that's okay. But they go up on a Chris Letang goal that should never have went in from Sidney Crosby and Ryan Shea, and the Penguins are winning 3-2 in the second period. At the end of the second period, going to the third, there were no goals scored, and game's over. Flyers lose again, 3-2 to the Penguins. What's the good side? What's the good side of this game? This game and the last game, the Flyers lost by one fluky goal. So it's not like they're getting blown out. One fluky goal last game, one fluky goal this game, and that's it. So the Flyers are in these games as much as they can't score. They're in them. They're in them. Someone just has to break through and get goals, like get shots on net. The Flyers had a lot of opportunities last night, and they didn't take their opportunities that they had or take advantage of them. So some were, like Zegras had a breakaway. He went to the backhand and he whiffed. He missed. Okay, that happens at times, right? But then there was other times where I believe Zegras was like in the slot and he could have fired the puck and he didn't decide to pass, and the pass didn't go well, and we lost possession. Power plays. We had Ristolainen, who, in all honesty, this is something I don't understand either. You have Risto on the power play, and he's supposed to have this big booming shot from the power play, and they played pass around like on this power play, and so many times Risto had the opportunity to just crank one off, and he wouldn't shoot. He wouldn't shoot. He kept going back. Risto to Zegras, Risto to Zegras, Risto to Zegras, and it was terrible. Like, if you're on this power play, bud, to take some shots, to fire that freaking 100 mile per hour slap shot, and he won't shoot. He won't shoot. It drives me nuts. Like, if he's not going to shoot, then there's no point in him being out there. Put somebody else out there that will shoot. York's not the answer. Drysdale's doing the same thing. He's not shooting. Risto's now turning into them, and he's not shooting. So I don't know what the answer here is, other than maybe Travis Sanheim, and he's already killing penalties, and he's got 24, 27-minute games, so he can't play much more. But somebody else has to get out there and shoot that puck, man. Get that puck through to the net, get those shots on the net, and don't be afraid to shoot. But right now, this team seems scared to shoot. The only one that shot or tried to shoot most of the night was Alex Bumper. He tried hard. He really did. He played a great game. It was a good decision by Tocchet to pull Mishkov and let Bump get into this game. He proved he belonged there. He got a goal. He had a couple shots. He had some board work that went his way. So definitely a good move putting Bump in. And I don't think he's coming out for the next game. There's a lot of talk. I don't know. There's a lot of talk right now about what happens next game. Like, what do you do? Do you leave Mishkov out? Do you keep Bump in? Like, what do you do? And in all honesty, I really don't know what to do. I think about it, and I think Mishkov can be a game changer from time to time. And, in a game 6 at home, you want all your skill on the ice, and but has he proved it the first 4 games he played? No. Did he learn last night? Like, maybe he's going to play harder. Like, maybe he's going to have a fire on him to come back. Maybe, and if it's there, Mishkov should be on the ice. So here's the problem: who do you pull to put Mishkov in? It's not an easy answer. You definitely don't pull Bump out. Bump just had a great game. Barkey had, even though he didn't have points, Barkey's all over the place. Barkey's skating. He's making stuff happen. He's one of your best forecheckers, and you can't pull Barkey out. So what do you do? Like, someone online said maybe Forster, and Forster's not having a great series. He's really not, but he's a big body. He's got good defensive play, and him again, he's got the ability to fire that puck. So it's hard pulling him out. So what do you do? And I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. It's hard. We have one guy too many. And What would I do going into the next game if I was Rick Tocchet? Well, I said, what, 3 games ago they should have sat Mishkov and put Bump in. It took 2 more games, I think, after that for them to do it, and it turned out to be a pretty decent move. Um, I probably, if it was me, I think I break apart that fourth line. That fourth line, in my opinion, right now has not been playing great the last game or two. They kind of lost that magic. Maybe I pull Hathaway off for Glendening and I rejuggle my lines. I bring Mishkov back into the fold, but I put him on a line with not with Cates. I put him on a line with Zegras or TK, like someone that he can perform with and produce with because we need him to produce. So that's probably what I do. And I know this is terrible because I'm not saying I would definitely do it. I'm just kicking ideas around and everyone has their own ideas, but maybe maybe I do a fourth line. Maybe I move Barkey down to the fourth line, or maybe if Forster's the one that's struggling, I move Forster down to the fourth line. And then I do in-game adjustments. Like if Forster's on the fourth line tearing it up, maybe you move him around a little bit, but I think Garnet Hathaway, yes, he scored a goal in this series. Yes, he's been playing hard and he's banging, but at this point right now, the physical play is not where it should be from a production standpoint. We're getting physical play out of them, but they're not producing at all out of it. And a lot of times, like, he's got a number on it, he's got a mark on him right now. He's getting penalties. So I think that's what I might do. I might pull either him or Glendening. Glendening looked a little slow and old last night. He didn't look so well. So that's me. I think maybe you move a Barkey down to the fourth line. Because again, fourth line's not getting poor minutes. Fourth line's getting a lot of minutes. So it's not like you're putting Barkey or Forster on a fourth line that's only averaging like 7 minutes. They're getting a lot of minutes. So I think moving them down there, seeing how things work out, getting Mishkov on a line with guys who can actually accept some of his passes and get some goals. Maybe that's enough to spread a little bit of fire on each line and get Mishkov back in the game. But that's just me. Let's talk about the Penguins, the dirty worm Penguins. Mantha is running around punching people in the face whenever he wants and getting away with it every game. And we're not just talking a hit here, a hit there. I'm talking 2, 3, 4 punches to the head, and this guy's not getting called penalties. He swung at TK, who ducked out of the way, and you had Sanheim go in and try to, not swinging him. None of our guys have swung at him, but you had Sanheim come in and try to stop it from happening, and the ref's standing right here, that close, and meanwhile you have Mantha swinging hooks at Sanheim's head and landing with their glove on, and then doing uppercuts into Sanheim's face and landing with gloves on, and the ref calls nothing, 0, goose egg. Refs should be suspended. That's right. I said it. You should be suspended. It's crazy. One right in front of you. Right in front of you, within 1 foot of you. You don't call it. Later on in that game, I believe Malkin actually hit TK up high. I thought I heard somebody say that he actually broke the stick on TK's head or face. Obviously, TK didn't have any marks or stitches or anything, but I didn't see the stick break. But that's what I heard. I heard the stick broke. He broke the stick on TK's head, face, shield, something. No call. 0 call on that. Nothing. You have guys being tripped. You have guys being boarded. No call. 0, nothing. You have Malkin at the end of play take a puck and flip it into our bench. Just missed our assistant coach, I believe, hit the glass. Guess what? No call. Nothing. This is an absolute disgrace, man. I've been watching this since Crosby came into the league. The preferential treatment that the Penguins have gotten gets worse and worse. They're never held accountable. Never. It's a disgrace. And what's so sad about it, and I don't know if anyone will remember this play, but right before the Penguins scored and Crosby, I think it was Connor Dewar, he scored it, right? Crosby was behind the net, and he was about a foot or foot and a half off the boards behind our net, and York was on him, but like not you not on him, but shadowing him. And I'm yelling at the TV like, hit him, get a body on him. And he's just letting Crosby just pretty much skate out of the from behind the net and find a play. And Crosby did. Crosby came out, found the play. Pittsburgh scores. York not putting a body on him is something I question. Um, is it because York doesn't want to hit him? Is it because York felt it was better not to hit him? It was because York's banged up and he can't hit the way he wants to hit? Or is it because York didn't want to hit him because if you touch him, you're going to the box? And that's where it just burns. It burns deep in me, man. Like, if we're going to go to the box anyway, just smoke him. Smoke him. If he's got the puck, lay him out, man. Lay him out. He's going to not want the puck if he keeps getting destroyed. And, if we get calls, okay, we can slow down on the hits. But just because it's Crosby, you don't pull up. Because it's Crosby, you hit him more, man. You hit their other team's best players more. You don't give them that room. And that's why I said, I don't know if it's like hey, listen, guys, you can't hit Crosby or Malkin because as soon as we do, we're going to go to the box. So just shadow them, just mark them, and let's hope we can contain them. Man, I hate that philosophy. If I'm going down, I want to go down swinging. I want to smoke him. That's me. Smoke him. He's got the puck. You have a chance to hit him. Hit him hard. Hit him every time. Don't pull up. Hit him every single solitary time. Make him earn every inch of that ice. Because guess what? They're doing that to us and they're getting away with it. And we should be doing it to them too. We shouldn't be afraid to body check someone, fairly. Fairly. And I'm not saying, like, when I say smoke him, I don't mean like break a stick on his head, right? I'm completely talking about fair hits, hard hits. If he's got the puck, the game of hockey, you're allowed to hit in it. And they should be hitting him every time and making him earn it. When you let Crosby come out from behind the net and all you're doing is just kind of shadowing him, he's got full view of the ice. He's looking for a pass. He's got plenty of time to do it because you're not willing to hit him. And that's what he did. He came out from behind the net. He turned. He faced the center of the ice. He found Connor Dewar, who scored a goal. And I blame York. York should have hit him. He didn't hit him. If he's not going to hit him, he shouldn't be out there against him. You need to put a different pairing out there against him. But anyhow, this game was ugly. This game was definitely ugly. This game should have had way more power plays for the Flyers than they did. I mean, again, the Penguins had 8 minutes. 8 minutes. And I just said three things that should have been at least 6 more minutes. The Pens should have had 14 to 20 penalty minutes in that game, just based on the simple three blatant things. And there were a lot of other things too. But yeah, okay, I can understand putting your whistle away from them. But Mantha, 100% hands down, should have went to the box. No way you punch a guy 2 times, uppercut, right in front of the ref, right in front of him, and the ref doesn't call it. Mantha, was it Mantha? No, it was Letang. I think Letang, pretty sure it was Letang. Letang had, what was it, Glendening, I believe. I think it was Glendening in a headlock behind the Pittsburgh goalie in the corner. And, I mean, put him in a headlock, ripped the guy's helmet off, ripped Glendening's helmet off. Pretty sure it was Glendening or Garnet Hathaway. And they had to leave the ice and go to the bench. And during that time, the Penguins scored on that one too. So the Penguins are now like 4, 5, 6 times ripping helmets off. How come nothing's being addressed? How come the league isn't looking into this? How come it's not being talked about all over the media that this is happening? I haven't seen, I've watched every other game out there mostly, and other teams aren't doing this. It's just the Penguins, like, hey, hit them, rip their helmet off, and make them leave the ice so we can get a man advantage for those 2-3 seconds and maybe score. And it worked last night. They got a goal after they ripped his helmet off. Penguins are dirty. They're dirty. They are so dirty. They've always been dirty. They're a bunch of crybabies. I hate losing to them. I hate watching anyone lose to a bunch of crybabies. It drives me nuts. I want to see men go out there and play hard, stop crying. and wherever the score lands, the score lands. But when you got a fake that you got hit in the face and lay down on the ice on your slide at a face-off dot to try to get 2 minutes, man, you lost all respect. And I have zero at this point in time. I have zero for the Penguins. They're the dirtiest team in the NHL. And I hope going into next game, Rick Tocchet does some adjustments. We can't go out there. We can go out there with the same lineup, I guess. Like I said, it's going to be hard to get Matvey back in, but there is a way, like I said, how to get him back in. But I do think that Tocchet has to tinker with his lines now. I think it's just not working. Maybe move Forster to Martone's spot. Martone's the Forster spot. I don't know. Maybe move Bump into one of those spots. I think he just has to readjust these lines. He's got to mix some things up and try to create stuff. He in an interview today had said, or was it last night, I believe, that the Flyers weren't creative enough. He was saying that they weren't creating opportunities. Like when they got the puck, they were probably shooting and just hitting legs and things weren't getting to the net. That's not what I saw last night. Yeah, they weren't creative. Yeah, I agree with that part. But him saying they were just shooting and hitting legs, we weren't shooting either. Like, we weren't shooting at all. I'd rather, if they can't be creative, then shoot. Just shoot the puck. Like, I think the problem was Zegras is in the slot. I'm pretty sure it was Zegras. He was in the slot. He had a point-blank shot, and instead he decided to pass, and the pass was bad. Risto had a couple of times where he was wide open on the point and on the power play, and instead of cranking off a slap shot, he keeps passing back and forth passing. He's playing catch with Zegras. So I don't think they're shooting anywhere near as enough. I think that should really be the message. Yes, be creative, try to create some stuff, carry the puck maybe a little longer, but shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. And I know there's so many like media personalities out here that say, well, you just can't shoot the puck. You have to make sure, like, you work and get that opening and then shoot the puck, get a better quality shot. And that's true, man. They should be doing that too. However, look at the Penguins, man. They're just shooting from everywhere that they can. And they've created 2 or 3 goals over these last couple of games that shouldn't have went in just because they shot. So I would like to see, if you're in a position to shoot, they're not, that opportunity is not coming around too often. So if you're in a position to shoot, just shoot. And then what that ends up doing, and it does, you can go back and we can pull tape from other games. I'm not going to, but we could. But what happens is when you shoot, a lot of times these teams right now are marking the pass. So you can't pass in there because they know you're gonna. But when you shoot, every time you get that opportunity to shoot, these guys are going to start knowing we're shooting. Like, get out there and block that shot. And once they start doing that, that's when you can pass because there's going to be somebody open. But we've had opportunity a couple times where guys were right in front of that net, had opportunities to shoot, and they didn't. They went for a pass and it didn't work out. So here we go. We're going back home tomorrow night, Wednesday night, the 9th, 7:30 game. Flyers versus Pittsburgh, game 6 at Philly. I will be down there again, me and my son. Hopefully we get a win. We need a win tomorrow night. We can't go game 7 in Pittsburgh. So all stops have to be pulled for this game. Flyers need to win tomorrow. Tocchet has to juggle lineups. These lines aren't working, or when they were, the Penguins were playing us differently. But now that they're not, it's probably because the Penguins made adjustments. So we have to make adjustments too. Switch the lines up, juggle them around. Do whatever you got to do. Let's get this win tomorrow night. All right, so we'll do another broadcast tomorrow. We'll review that game afterwards. And until then, go Flyers.